How does it feel back coaching?
It feels great. I mean, I really missed it. When I first came here, and Dan Guerrero gave me an opportunity to get into administration, I really thought I tried to convince myself I was done. But, after being around this program for the first year or so with Coach Mora and the energy and the passion, and I miss the relationships with the players, the competition, and about 2 years ago, Coach Mora started talking to me about the possibility of getting back on the field if the right opportunity came, and so it presented itself this winter, and I jumped at it, and I appreciate the fact that Dan was understanding. He understood that this is what I wanted to do, and Coach Mora communicated that to him, so it all worked out.
Tight ends, how are they doing so far?
Well, it's a work in progress, especially since we didn't have a true tight end in the offense for the last 4 years. So we're trying to create tight ends out of different position groups, different body types, tight end type bodies. We have two different types of tight ends, but they're both expected to do the same thing. So, but as a group, collectively, we're making progress. I mean, it is positive to see the progress we've made, but we have a long way to go.
Nate's done some of that stuff, the F-back stuff, some of the blocking, all that, those assignments. What do you expect out of him this season?
Well, he's played the position, or a position as close to playing a tight end, you're right, as possible. And therefore he's ahead of the curve. I mean, he understands some of those fundamentals, some of the concepts, some of the techniques a little bit, and he's performed them a little bit better. So, but I expect a lot out of him. He's got a lot of ability. This is his last year. I know he wants to make a mark and leave a real positive imprint on that position and set the bar. And we've set the bar together very high for him because he's got ability. He's got the 1-2, and we just got to coach him and integrate him into that position so he feels comfortable.
Obviously, it's going to take some time to get the tight ends in the image that you're imagining. What is that sort of vision in a few years down the line? What do you hope to get from that position?
Well, it's got to be number one. We're going to run the ball, so it's got to be a position that is a really good blocking position. We got to be able to block defensive ends and defensive tackles at times, but big, strong athletes. So it's going to take some guys with some strength and some girth and some size, and you'd like to have some length. At the same time, we want to be able to be, we have an outstanding quarterback and group of quarterbacks and a chance to throw the ball well. So we want the tight end to be an integral part of that passing game. If the tight end is a factor in your passing game, I think it creates a lot of problems for defenses. And so it's that combination, that fine line of a big physical athlete, but yet who's capable of making plays down the field, making plays in space, and then making plays after he catches the ball.
Last few years, the wide position was obviously more of a pass catcher. Do you feel like in this offense, maybe the pass catching part of it will be a little less featured than it was?
Well, in the past, the wide position was a fourth wide receiver, so therefore it is going to be, and he was opened up, very rarely attached to the tackle. Now we're playing with a true tight end concept that's attached to the tackle, his hands in the ground. So, naturally, the production of that position may diminish a little bit, but overall, the yards per catch and those kinds of things can be greatly enhanced because of the ability to run the ball, the run threat, and the ability to get the ball thrown down the field as a result of that.
How's Austin Roberts doing?
Austin's been a really real positive. He's playing the F tight end, but and that tight end. But we're asking the same of both positions. Some people perceive that position to be a little bit more of a receiving tight end. He is the guy that we will open up a little bit more, play in the slot, but he'll also play on the line of scrimmage, play with his hand in the ground, play on the wing. So his progress has been he has explosiveness of a wide receiver, but yet he's got pretty good punch for a guy that is maybe not your prototypical tight end size body structure. He's 230 pounds and he's getting bigger and stronger, and he has great explosiveness. So that allows him to maybe, and that with his athleticism allows to compensate for maybe an inch or two or 10 or 15 pounds.
You've also got a couple guys coming in the summer. Are you expecting them to be ready? And what?
Well,
you
you
really
never
expect
know
them?
what, I mean, the opportunity is going to be there for everybody to compete. And Caleb and Jordan will have that opportunity. They certainly have the body types that we're looking for. But, until we see them out on the field and, see what they're capable of doing learning-wise, physically, running routes, catching, blocking. But yeah, I mean, just the sheer numbers of the position and the experience of the position would give them a great opportunity.
Has Coach Moore given you a recruiting assignment yet? Do you have an area or a position that you need?
I have parts of the Temecula area, the Inland Empire. I'm down in big parts of Orange County. Then I'll have Portland and maybe Southeast a little bit because of my familiarity and my coaching background in the Southeast.
It's not strictly tight ends, though, right?
No, well, we end up all position recruiting as the spring rolls on and you get deeper into recruiting. I'll be heavily involved in the tight ends and have been so far. I mean, we're recruiting a number of guys and need to bring in a quality group of tight ends for this class.
Both of the running backs talked about how effective the fullbacks have been in spring camp. What have you seen from that position so far?
Well, it just adds a degree of physicality to your offense when you have a lead back in there. I think it sets a mentality that KP is trying to integrate into our offense, and gives you a chance to be a downhill running team, a physical team. And those guys are doing a good job, both those guys. And Cam and Anu, they're big physical guys, and if I was a running back, it'd be a kind of reassuring to line up behind those kind of athletes with that kind of size and yet explosiveness.